up, y'all? This is the Bettors Edge. I'm Rusty Betts. That's your co-host, Randee the Parlay Killer. In this episode, we'll be breaking down UFC 259 happening this Saturday, March 6th at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas on pay-per-view. 3 title fights. Light heavyweight bout, women's featherweight bout, and a big bantamweight championship going down this Saturday. Before we do that, we're going to go ahead and recap how we did on last week's card for UFC Fight Night 186, Cyril Gane versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. We got 5 out of 6 picks right. So close. Only falling one shy of, but losing our last leg of our parlay in the main event. We picked Jairzinho Rozenstruik. We hit over 80%, 84% of our picks last week if you followed us. But Randee, what are your takeaways? What happened here?
Well, last week we was doing good all the way till the end. We got Pedro Munoz right.
Yes.
Good Great underdog pick.
Yep.
Alexis Davis we got right as well. You know, her experience took over. She took it to the ground. We got that one right. Ankalaev, it was actually a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And Rozenstruik, I don't know. What am I supposed to do? You know, I didn't know he was going to fight like that, you know?
Honestly, if you ask me if I could put it into one word, disgrace. What a big disgrace by this guy. He went on social media. He said sorry and whatnot, but hey, that's not going to fucking take back our money, man. We got so close. Angela Hill, as you guys all know, that fight fell short. That was part of our parlay, and I feel like that would have made our night a better night. We're hitting one more of our fights, making a 6 out of 7. But hey, what can you do? I mean, that's a pretty good night, if you ask me.
For sure.
Any based on what you saw, would you have is there any plays you wish you would have taken? Anyone impressed you?
Ankalaev, Munoz right. Which ones were the one that got wrong? Ronnie Lawrence. Ronnie Lawrence had a great performance. I've bet against him twice now.
Pacheco, yeah.
You got my respect, Ronnie Lawrence. I'll do more studying in the future when in your next fight. You know, you really got my respect. Cachero gave a spirited effort though. He did good.
Yeah, Thiago.
He could have handled the wrestling.
Let's talk about Thiago. How precise was
Moises looked good. I know Alexander Hernandez on Instagram, Twitter, he's saying, you know, like how he won that fight. If you just turned on the commentary. No, dude, you lost that fight. Oh. You lost that fight.
Definitely. I am, for one, I never say never, but I will do my best not to pick Alex Hernandez anymore. His losses to Drew Dober, his losses to Moises. I don't know. I don't believe in him anymore. The resurrection is definitely not coming for him. And the fact that he thought he won that fight, I don't know. But yeah, overall, great card. I wish we got the main event right, but hey, can't complain.
Right.
All right. I'm very excited for this weekend. It's UFC 259. We are in an era of super fights right now. And this is what I consider a super fight. We got Adesanya moving up in weight and facing John Blachowicz for the light heavyweight title. And we're going to get into all of that. So in this episode, we're going to break down the main card and the prelims for UFC 259, share our picks, and also, as always, giving you our solid bets and plays and tell you guys what we're doing to make some money on this card. So let's get into it. All right, for our first breakdown, let's go ahead and break down a fight in our prelims with one of the guys that I look up to. If you mention the word WEC, these are one of the guys that I think about. And this is Joseph Benavidez versus Askar Askarov. This is a fight that's going to be going down at 125 pounds, right? 25 pounds?
Yeah, that's right.
125 pounds. So here's the thing. Joseph Benavidez is coming in at 36 years old. For me, that is a big asterisk. His last two losses is to the current champ, Davison Figueiredo. He lost to him twice by TKO and rear naked. His last significant win, in my eyes, is back 2 years ago in 2019, where he beat Jose Formiga by head kick knockout. We got Askar Askarov, up and coming guy, undefeated, 12-0, and only one draw coming to Brandon Moreno. As you know, Brandon Moreno just got a draw with the current champ Figueiredo. They're taking it back. They're doing it over later on this summer. He's got big wins over Tim Elliott and Alex Pantoja. So what's your take? Give me your breakdown on this, Randee.
I think this fight's gonna be pretty much like a grinding kind of fight. Askarov, he's a good wrestler. He knows how to mix it in well. Benavidez, same thing for him. I just think there's a big gap in age difference. One guy's trending up, one guy is going down. In these kind of fights, especially in the lower weight classes, I like to pick the younger guy in this case. As far as Askarov, he's fought three legit opponents in his last fights. He fought Brandon Moreno to a draw. He fought Tim Elliott, and he beat a legit top 10 guy in Pantoja.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a future title contender for sure next year, if anything.
Absolutely. The line opened up. The line opened up as actually Joseph Benavidez being the favorite at minus 150. Now coming down as an underdog. He is at even money. We have Askar Askarov opening as an underdog. Now the favorite sitting at minus 140. That tells a story right there. We got the experienced older Joseph Benavidez coming off two heart-drenching losses in the title fight. He felt like that's one of his last times he had a shot at the title. I think so, but it was a bad loss. As you know, he's married to Megan Olivi, and that was a tough one for them too. And if you watch behind the scenes in that fight, that was an emotional one. So honestly, I thought that was going to be the last of seeing Joe Benavidez, but as you can see, he's back now fighting Askar Askarov and sitting as an underdog. All right. On to the next fight in our prelims. Is actually the main event in our prelims. We got the legend Dominick Cruz versus the up-and-comer Kenney. Kenney is coming off a 3-fight winning streak. Big wins over Nathaniel Wood, Heli Altang, and Louis Smoker beating him by guillotine. We got Dominick Cruz, as you know, another WEC legend. But his last win is coming back in 2016 against Uriah Faber. 2 losses to Henry Cejudo, Cody Gambrat, and his last loss coming from Henry Cejudo in a TKO. As you know, Dominick Cruz has been part of the commentary board for a few years now. He hasn't stayed active, but he's one of the guys that truly believes ring rust isn't real. So tell me what you got for this fight.
This is actually one of my stronger plays for this card. It's I'll tell you later on what I'm gonna put on my parlay, but this definitely is one of my stronger parlays. Or if you want, you can straight bet this one too. This is a strong pick. I like Kenney a lot in here. He's been on a winning streak as of late. I remember he was an underdog against Nathaniel Wood last fight. I picked Kenney the whole way. I think there's a 6-year age difference, 7-year age difference. Dominick Cruz, what the last time he won was 2016.
Mm-hmm.
He's on a two. Is he on a two-fight losing streak right now?
He's on a
He lost to,
two-fight losing streak, correct?
yeah,
And
he just lost to Cejudo last year.
and Cody.
Oh, and then Cody. So his last one was against what? Uriah Faber?
No, his last win was Uriah Faber back in 2016. And his last two losses is coming from Cody and Uriah. Uriah being the last one.
Well, I know he's injury prone. So was there another ACL surgery that he's coming off of? I have no idea. But in this time, he may not believe ring rust exists. But then the last time he took a 4-year layoff. That time he was only 30 years old when he came back to fight TJ Dillashaw. He's 35 right now. Fighting at 135. I don't favor him in this fight. I like Casey Kenney a lot, to win this fight. Stand up wise, Dominick Cruz can be tricky. He slips a lot. He's got good footwork, good angles, but I think the game's caught up to Dominick Cruz already. Yeah, I like Casey Kenney by decision, if anything.
For sure. I stand corrected. His last loss is to the triple champ, Henry Cejudo. But I think you're right. I think back in the day, Dominick Cruz is one of those guys that was tough to unlock, a style that can't be matched in sparring with a lot of people. But I think they're onto him now. He's slower. I think people are starting. There's a lot of tape on him now. So he is beatable. Back in the day, he was going down as one of the greats, but he still is a great fighter. It's just that I think his father time is catching up to him.
Yep.
But
father time's undefeated, right?
Exactly. Why do you think he's still fighting? To be honest.
Well, I think it's a fighter in him. I think when. He's already making money doing being on the broadcast team, but
sure.
I guess it's just a competitive drive in him. I know these fighters they don't like to just retire. They just want to keep doing it until they can't do it anymore. He still thinks he can be competitive, so that's why I still think he's in there.
I think he's like a BJ Penn. I think he has a relationship with the company, and he's gonna fight until Uncle Dana says no.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. So.
But I do think I see this is gonna be a 30-27 kind of fight.
Wow.
Casey Kenney's a favorite.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think this is close at all. If it is close, it's because Dominick makes him miss majority of the time. But I can't see Dominick winning this fight. I'm a big fan of Dominick Cruz, but yeah, I think the game's got to his style now.
Sure, and I don't disagree. The odds makers don't disagree as well. They have Dominick Cruz currently sitting as the underdog at plus 110, with Casey Kenney being a minus 140 favorite. Very similar line to the last fight we just talked about. So this is going to be a tricky card for some, or it could be an easy one, but we'll see. All right. So that was the main event for our prelims. Now let's move our way on to the main card for UFC 259. If you guys don't already know, it's a big card, 15 fights. I think UFC does this because of the whole COVID thing and people dropping out. Mm-hmm. So let's hope this card stays stacked. But as of right now, we have 15 fights. So on to the main card. Let's break down the number 2 ranked Thiago Santos versus Aleksandar Rakic. He's ranked number 4 in this light heavyweight bout. Let me see. Aleksandar Rakic is just coming off Anthony Smith beatdown in a 5-round showcase, showcasing how tough, how hard-hitting Aleksandar is and how much heart Anthony Smith has. He has TKO wins over Jimmy Manuwa and Devin Clark. We got Thiago Santos. As you know, he fought for the belt against John Jones. Didn't win, but definitely showed that he has the potential to one day make it back to being a title contender. He's on a 2-fight losing streak, with his last loss coming from Glover Teixeira, and he did beat our current champ right now, who is in the main event, Jan Blachowicz, by TKO 2 years ago in 2019. Mm-hmm. So give me your analysis on this fight.
Just correction. The main event with Rakic and Smith was actually 5 rounds. 3 rounds. 3 rounds.
Oh, okay. I don't
understand what. Yeah.
Well, why was it? Why was it 3 rounds?
It's either because somebody had to be pulled off the card, or I don't know. I don't understand why some main events are 3 rounds. Just make it 5.
I know for the Calvin Kattar and what's his name?
Zabit.
Zabit didn't want to go 5 rounds.
Yeah.
That's what maybe it's just fighters agreeing on something. Maybe it's a short notice thing. Who knows?
Yeah. I think so. But as far as this fight goes, Rakic is what, minus 170?
Yes, he is minus 170 right now.
No, I think that line's about that's pretty accurate. I think Rakic, in my opinion, just like I talked about Ankalaev last week, him, Ankalaev, Prochaska, I think they're all in a race to see who's going to be champion first. All of them are going to be moving up forward. They're going to move up the ranks. I'm very high on Rakic as well. He's still young, very strong. As you can see in that last fight against Smith, I picked Smith in that fight too. It was very disappointing performance. It just proves just how strong he is on the ground. He can stand up. He's good on the ground, good wrestling. He's a total package. Thiago Santos, he hits like a hammer, bro. That's Thor.
That is Thor.
Yeah, that's Thor. I think he's a little chinny though. His ground game, there are deficiencies to his ground game, his wrestling. Rakic knows that. He's younger. Yeah, I like Rakic a lot in this fight. There's only one way he loses, and that's if Thiago knocks him out. But then I just think he's too greedy. The wrestling's going to be too strong. I like Rakic a lot. I think this is something you can put a straight wager on, for sure.
If you can refresh our viewers' memory, how and why did Thiago lose to Glover, and is he fully recovered from his injury?
Okay, Thiago Santos actually looked good in that last fight too. I picked Glover myself, only because Glover's very underrated. In my opinion, he should be fighting for the belt right now, not Izzy. Thiago's kind of like an Ngannou or Derek Lewis in a sense. Like he's one of the top power punchers in that division. He can change the game, but then I don't know. I just think too much. I think very highly of Rakic at this point. He knows what he has to do. I think this is going to be pretty much one-sided, if anything.
No, I agree with you with Glover. He definitely deserves a title shot at this point. I think what UFC is doing is they see the money with Israel coming in this title fight, and they're just waiting till Glover gets old.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. That was a tough fight, and Thiago went back and forth with Glover on that one. I just think maybe he lost stylistically, but this is definitely going to be an interesting one in the light heavyweight realm of who wins and who wins the main event. But we'll see how everything unfolds. All right, on to the next. We have a very fun fight to me, very interesting fight in the Islam Makhachev hype train, where, as you can see, UFC is promoting him very widely as the next Khabib versus the hard-hitting Drew Dober. Drew Dober is on a 3-fight winning streak right now. His last win beating Alex Hernandez by TKO. Honestly, I don't even know if that counts. I think Alex Hernandez sucks. But this 3-fight winning streak, his last loss is coming to a very, very, in my opinion, one of the tougher guys that in the top 10 is Beneil Dariush. As you guys remember his last fight, he had a very competitive fight. And we got Islam Makhachev on a 6-fight winning streak. Wins over Nick Lentz and Gleison Tibau, and some other wins over some guys. But I feel like Drew Dober has had the better competition. A lot of hype on Makhachev. Tell me what your take on this.
I want to say what Islam's one of the bigger favorites on this card, minus 400.
Close to it. I would say besides that man of Nunes, he is the second biggest fave on the card.
I really think that line is way off. It's way off. Odds makers are giving too much respect for Makhachev because that's what Khabib's heir.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be the next big. He's supposed to be the next champion. Khabib's saying he's going to be the next champion. Their coach Javier Mendez is saying he's going to be the next champion, or he's going to be a contender at least. But I just think Dober's on his way up as well. You know, he's been looking good. Not only that Aleksandar Hernandez fight, he looked good. Before that, he fought Nasser.
Right.
Yeah. That was a good win as well. Marco Polo Reyes, I'm not going to give you too much credit for that. He got armbarred by Neil Dariush.
That's Dariush, yeah.
Yeah, he beat John Tuck, Frank Camacho, Josh Berkman before that. Aubin Mercier, he lost to. But Dober, he's been training with Justin Gaethje guys at Elevation. So in a way, I think this is kind of like get revenge for Gaethje over Khabib in a way. But I believe Dober is a live underdog. I'm not gonna place a bet on that. I'm still and as far as if you're an Islam guy, I'm picking Islam to win, but I still wouldn't put him on a wager. This is a potential parlay breaker right there, if anything.
Definitely. I definitely think it is a factor that he is training with Justin Gaethje's camp. I think it is a big factor that there is that revenge aspect to it in their coaching staff. And the fight that they prep for Khabib is additional motivation of trying to beat Makhachev here. But yeah, we'll see how this fight goes. I feel like there's a lot of value in Dober, but also I can see it going on a lopsided victory for Makhachev as well and being a showcase over Dober. I just double check to see if this is during Ramadan, but Ramadan doesn't start till next month. So he should have a good weight cut. I don't see any issues there. So interesting fight, fun fight. A lot of value in the underdog with Drew Dober sitting at a plus 2 something here. All right. So now let's move our way to the first out of 3 title fights happening for this card. And we got an interesting one here. We got the current champ, Petr Yan, versus the number 1 contender, Aljamain Sterling. Petr Yan is on a 10-fight winning streak. His last fight, beating Jose Aldo in the 5th round by TKO. Impressive victory there. But also we got Aljamain Sterling. Just submitted the rising Corey Sandhagen. You guys saw what he did to Frankie Edgar. He just beat Pedro Nunes, which showcased a lot last week against Jimmy Rivera. So Aljo actually has wins over both those guys, Pedro Nunes and Jimmy Rivera. And just look at his record. His last fights being a 5-fight winning streak. Last loss coming to Marlon Moraes. After that, he just went through a murderer's row of people. I just mentioned Nunes, Rivera, Sandhagen. The list goes on. After his loss to Moraes, he came back up. He moved his way back up. He is a rightful heir as a number 1 contender. and he's going against a Petr Yan that some people say hasn't been tested yet, but looks very good.
Yeah, I was going back and forth with this fight. I've actually lost to both guys. I actually picked against Petr on his last fight. I was really high on Jose Aldo going into that fight. He looked good until he gassed out, actually. And then I picked Sandhagen against Aljamain Sterling. That was a quick fight. I was just disappointed. But then that just proves how good Aljamain Sterling's takedowns are. So I went back and forth. I found out that Petr Yan has been training with the Russian national team, the wrestling team over there. Well, according to Uriah Faber, because Uriah Faber has his insiders. But I do like Petr Yan in this fight. I like him because I think this fight's going to be determined on where the fight goes. Is it going to go on the ground? Is it going to be standing up? So Aljamain Sterling, he's already said in a couple interviews that he's going to try to take this guy down, submit him. Everyone knows that. Petr Yan knows that. So he has to do one thing. He just has to defend takedowns. That's everybody knows Petr Yan has the advantage on in the stand up. Aljamain Sterling, yes, he's good wrestling. He's good on the ground. But Petr Yan has shown great takedown defense in the past. He hasn't fought the quality wrestler that Aljamain Sterling is, but I do like Petr Yan. He's been training out of ATT for this one as well. I know he travels a lot. He trains usually out of a Tiger Muay Thai in Thailand. I know he trained in Brazil in the past with Jose Aldo guys a long time ago. Trains in Russia here and there. This guy was bred to actually be champion, really. You know, I'm gonna pick Petr Yan in this fight by I want to see knockout. I think he's gonna finish him third or fourth round. Really, I don't know. I know Aljamain Sterling puts on a high pace, but I think he's eventually gonna die out from taking him down. You know, I know he lives out here in Vegas now. I know he trains out of Extreme Couture. He's getting in good with good quality partners as well, you know. But I like Petr Yan in this fight. Third or fourth KO, TKO.
That I can't disagree with. The line is close for a reason. We got Petr Yan just sitting as I don't even want to call it a favorite. -120 favorite against -110 Sterling. I can see the line moving either way after weigh-ins and come fight night.
I can see Sterling be the favorite come fight night. Really,
I can see money coming on Sterling. I read somewhere that Sterling is training Dagestan style, and he's ready for the ground. I feel like if he wins, it's going to come by way of submission somewhere on the ground.
That's his only way to victory.
I think so too. I think Yan has a style to beat him by decision, although Sterling does push the pace. It's gonna be by submission if Sterling wins. It's gonna be by choke. Petr Yan strikes me as a guy that doesn't tap, so it's gonna be by choke. But we'll see. As I read, you know, Aljamain has brought in a lot of Russian wrestlers, Soviet wrestlers to his camp, training this Dagestan style, and I mean he's prepared. Sounds like he's in it for a ground fight, but an interesting title fight, very close fight. Definitely, the line says it all. All right, now to the second of our three title fights. Sometimes I feel like we shouldn't even talk about this fight because I feel like the line is telling us who's going to win already. But let's talk about it. We got Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson. Megan Anderson coming on a 2-fight winning streak with her last 10 wins coming by way of stoppage. It's pretty impressive, actually. But even more impressive, we got Amanda Nunes 11-fight winning streak, beating the who's who of her division. Some say she's the GOAT of MMA, not just women's MMA, the GOAT of MMA, beating Jermaine Durandamy twice, Holly Holm, Chris Cyborg, Ronda Rousey, Miesha Tate, Valentina Shevchenko, putting Ronda Rousey into retirement. And by the way, side note, Ronda Rousey, that is just the worst outing of the sport that I've ever seen. It just shows that she has no passion for the sport. But anyway, back to Amanda Nunes, the GOAT. Some people say this could be the last fight we'll see for the women's featherweight title or the featherweight weight class. We'll see if that's true or not. But give me your breakdown for this fight. Give me what you think you'll see. We'll see. Let me know if Megan Anderson has a shot at all.
I was looking at this fight a lot closer than I think a regular person might look at. On a side note, Amanda Nunes is this is going to be her first fight having a kid. Congratulations to Amanda and Nina Ansaroff. So yeah, she's finally a mom. What's her name? Megan Anderson.
Yeah.
What strikes me, what really stands out to her is her height. She's very lengthy.
Very lengthy.
She's coming off. She's what, 6 foot?
Yep.
Yeah, she's about 6 feet. She's been training with James Krause's team. I'm very high on that team. What is her route to victory? I don't think she's not going to submit her. She's not going to win a decision. Her only route to victory is a knockout. She has to knock out Amanda Nunes. Here's a problem. Amanda Nunes is actually, in my opinion, the better striker. She's shorter, yes, but she's the better striker. She's the more explosive fighter. She's the better wrestler. She's better on the ground. She's minus 1,200 for a reason. But this is, if you do want to bet on this fight, I suggest going over 1.5. I expected Amanda Nunes to actually finish Felicia Spencer in the last fight. She didn't. I think she's getting into that groove. You know, like when George St. Pierre and Demetrius Johnson when they became champ, they just want to hold on to that title.
Safe. You know, they're fighting safe.
They just want to fight safe. Yeah.
They felt the cracks. They felt like some matches they could have lost, and they're fighting safe. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, people out there. After GSP got knocked out by Matt Serra, his only finish was the Michael Bisping win. The most recent.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Everything else was right. Yeah. It's everything else has been decision. He's just been fighting safe, and I believe you. I feel over 1.5 is a very, very good call, good play. Right. Megan Anderson, I feel like the only way to victory for her is something crazy, something like how Anderson Silva broke his leg or something like that.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Amanda Nunes is beatable, but I don't think she's beatable by Megan Anderson.
This is not the person to do it.
No, not at all. Yeah. But yeah, not much to say.
What is the odds on if what's her name? Megan Anderson wins by knockout.
Wow. Actually, I was trying to look that up right now. I don't think it's out there just yet. We'll find out more in the next coming days. But Megan Anderson is actually sitting at a plus 700 right now with some places having Amanda Nunes minus 1,400. So I would say Megan Anderson by knockout is upwards of the plus 3,000 right now.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Gotta be.
If you want to have fun with your money, you put $1 on it. You know,
Yeah.
put $1 on it. But yeah, that's that with that fight. Should be a showcase. Should be a good one with Amanda Nunes coming out on top. All right. Now for our main event for this fight card, we got Jan Blachowicz versus Israel Adesanya. We got Israel Adesanya moving up as the middleweight champ. First time fighting at light heavyweight in the UFC. Jan just coming off a upset win over Dominick Reyes by KO. And we got Israel 20-0. As I said, first time moving up in light heavyweight. Last fight off that big win versus Paulo Costa. Tell me, what is the record, or how often do fighters find success when moving up in weight? Or let me.
I want to. It's. I don't know the exact numbers, but if I were to guess, it's definitely above 60%. Yeah, I do believe that. Yeah, usually once you see it, when they move up in weight, they're very successful. You who's a recent example? Marco Chiesa, he's been killing it. Dos Anjos, when he moved up to 170, he was killing it. Thiago Santos, he's fighting on this card too. Once he moved up to 205, he's been killing it. Anthony Smith, all those guys. Usually, yeah, I want to say it's definitely better than 60%. Definitely better than 50%.
Definitely. Sure. Okay. Let me rephrase that question. Do you think a lot of these guys, like let's say Anthony, even Rumble Johnson, moving up, right? Those are guys that may be cutting too much weight. Do you think Israel is in a situation like Max when he moved up to 155, and we just saw that Dustin Poirier was just a bigger masked person, and are we going to see this with Izzy at 205?
Okay, using Max for an example, I want to say still Max was fighting Dustin. You know what I mean? He looked very competitive in that fight too.
Oh, definitely.
Some people, very competitive. I remember Khabib even arguing that it was a draw. Some people
see it being a draw.
Yeah, but that's just Dustin. In Izzy's case, he's skinny at 185, and from what I hear, or from what I've been reading and listening to, I think Izzy walks around like 200 pounds, way below the weight limit. Jan Blachowicz, he's actually what? I think he's coming around he's gonna be walking around like 230 or something. He's gonna have like a 30-pound weight advantage on Izzy come fight night. Yeah, Izzy's not a big guy. He's pretty skinny actually.
I did see him training though, putting on some weight, but again, it's not enough time to build that much weight unless you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Unless you believe in those rumors of him, juicing up and stuff like that.
No, I don't think so.
What's up with the nipple though?
Oh, the gyno. I don't know. I've been trying to find out. I've been trying to look at pictures. I don't think it's there anymore. I don't know. He probably got it surgically removed, if anything.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's steroids or whatnot. I don't know. I have no comment. Sorry.
Honestly, I don't know. But honestly, as fans, do we care? Do we care? Sometimes I feel like let them be. Let them go.
If they get past USADA, that's USADA's fault. You know what I mean?
That's true. It's if they technically pass, they pass, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you ask me, yes, I would like fair competition, but I do miss the old Overeem, or the old
Vanderlei Silva.
Vanderlei and Vitor, you know. So, but yeah, for this fight, it's a tough main event. We have for me, it's a tough one to call. But the more I think about it, the more I find like the line might be telling me something here. We got Israel Adesanya sitting at a minus 235 with Jan, the champ now, the champ who fights at light heavyweight as an underdog at plus 190. I feel like UFC is rooting for Izzy to beat Jan so they can set up that big money fight against John Jones one day. But we'll see. We'll see how it all goes down. And that wraps up our main card. I want to get.
Did we make a pick? Did we make a pick? We didn't make a pick.
Let's talk about our picks right after we let's make our picks right. Let's make our picks right now. Actually, so we just talked about our main card, and now it's our time to share our picks of the full 15 fight card, starting with the prelims, the early prelims on UFC Fight Pass. We got Mario Bautista in a battle-win bout versus Trevin Jones. Mario is sitting as the favorite at minus 240 with Trevin Jones as a plus 200. Who you got for this fight?
Okay, so I was going back and forth, doing some research, doing studying. Mario Bautista, he's coming off of that knockout over Miles Johns. Trevin Jones, he's coming off that big upset over Timur Valiev.
Yes. And if you recall, he was a very big favorite.
Oh yeah, he was a big favorite. I know Trevin Jones. He's coming out. He's a Guamese. He's a Chamorro coming out from Guam. I know he's been training out here now at Drysdale Jiu-Jitsu. Big win. This is actually a step down if you're gonna ask me. He's still the underdog. He had that win, but then they took it off because of smoking weed. Or they found weed in the system.
Yeah.
So that's actually a no contest. What is he? 12-6. He's a more experienced guy. He's actually fought decent competition. No, he's fought good competition actually. He fought Jeremiah Labiano, the Filipino kid from the Bay. He fought Toby Misek. He has a split decision win over Toby Misek. He's a well-respected veteran coming out of Hawaii. Who else? Oh, the last guy to finish Trevin Jones was actually my boy Alvin Kakdak.
Hey, shout out to Alvin. Shout out
to Alvin, right? But I'm gonna slide with Trevin Jones in this fight.
Wow.
He has good takedowns. He has. I think the jiu-jitsu is. I know he's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt. He's explosive. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Trevin Jones with with the upset.
I see. I'm gonna go against you here. I see Trevin Jones, the odds makers have him as an underdog once again, even after that big upset win. I think Mario Bautista has his number here. I'm following the line movement with Mario Bautista opening as a minus 130, jumping to minus 240. As you guys all know, I'm a big line follower, and I'm going to take Mario Bautista here as a favorite. So you have Trevin Jones, I have Mario Bautista. All right. The next fight here in the early prelims, Uros Medic in a lightweight bout against Alan Cruz. We got Uros Medic as a favorite at minus 170 with Alan Cruz as a plus 145. Who you got?
So the last time I remember, Uros Medic is coming off that Contender Series win over Mikey. Mikey Gonzalez. I think that's his name.
Mikey Gonzalez, yep.
Yeah. Okay. I do like Euros Medic in this fight. Alon Cruz. He's coming off of that loss to Spike Carlyle. Spike Carlyle, he's no longer in the UFC. I was very high in Spike Carlyle too. I remember.
I'm a Spike Carlyle fan. I'm a Spike.
Yeah, Carlyle. Yeah. He's fun to watch. Just wish he was still in the UFC. He got knocked out by Spike Carlyle. Before that, he was on the Contender Series. He fought Steven Wynn. That was actually a back and forth fight. It was a competitive fight until he won by knockout. He will be making. I know he moved to Vegas, Extreme Couture, for this fight. I know he's training out here now. He's also moving up a weighting. He's moving up another. He's moving up to 155 for this fight. That's actually, I think that's actually going to benefit him. He's very big for the 145 weight class. So I actually think it's going to be good for Alon Cruz. Euros Medic, I don't think a lot of people, the odds makers aren't giving him credit because he's training out of King's MMA with Kelvin Gastelum guys and Danilo Dariush guys. So that's the right move. I know he's fighting from Serbia. Well, he's fighting out of California, but he's from Serbia. So in my mind, I think he's like he's on his way to become the Novak Djokovic of MMA. If
wow,
you tennis fans out there, you know, yeah, Euros Medic. I like him by knockout. Actually, I'm taking the favorite, Euros Medic.
I'm taking Euros Medic too. Since Joker just won the Australian Open, let's roll with Medic. All right. In a women's strawweight bout, we got Souza versus Amanda Lemos. Amanda Lemos, Alemis, currently is a minus 230 favorite against Livia Souza at a plus 190 here. According to OddsShark MMA consensus, Amanda Lemos is a 72% betting favorite here. So according to consensus, this is the person people are betting on the most. So what's your take on this fight?
I agree. I actually agree with the public. Amanda Lemos is coming off.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Randee. Can you fix your mic real quick?
Better?
Better, yep.
Okay, sorry. I like Amanda Lemos in this fight. I know she's coming off a win over Mizuki Inoue. Before that, she was an underdog against Miranda Granger. She lost to, what is her name? Leslie. Who did she lose to before that? Before her 2-fight winning streak, she fought that girl from El Nino's camp.
You talking about Amanda?
Yeah.
Okay, she fought Leslie Smith, Miranda Granger.
Yeah, Leslie Smith.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she was 135 in that fight. Ever since dropping down to 125, Amanda Lemos has been killing it. She's been looking really good. As far as what's her name?
Livia Souza.
Yeah, Souza. She's coming off the split decision win. Was it a split decision or
against Ashley Yoder? Right.
Some people actually thought she lost that fight. You know, it was a very close fight. Yeah, it was a very close fight. I like Amanda. She's one of my stronger plays actually for this. I don't see Souza winning at all. Really. She had a close decision win over Sarah Froda as well. but she's just her fights. It's just too close, you know. Uh,
Yeah.
I like Amanda Lemos a lot. I want to say confidence level 8 out of 10. Really, yeah, I like Amanda Lemos a lot.
Wow. Yeah. Check this out. Amanda actually opened up as the underdog at plus 165 and is now the
Really?
favorite. I think the odds makers uh, quickly corrected themselves when they reviewed this fight again. So that's interesting, right?
Yeah.
I'm with you on this. I agree. I like Amanda in this fight. I think that uh, she's going to show people that she is going to be a contender in this division.
Yeah.
All right. For this welterweight bout, we got Sean Brady versus Jake Matthews. I personally like this fight. What's your take on it?
Oh, good fight. Good job on the Mick Maynard, um, Sean Shelby to make this fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's good fight actually. This is a good fight.
Yeah.
It shouldn't even be on the prelims. I
Bro,
don't even know why
I
it's
was just
only on
gonna
the
say
prelims.
that. Being this stacked card, I feel like they still should be bumped up a notch here and still be in
Yeah.
the prelims, not the early prelims.
Jake Matthews, he's one of the better prospects coming out of Australia. Dude's been fighting a long fight since what 2014.
Mm-hmm.
He's fought Kevin Lee. He fought James Vick. Diego Sanchez. He didn't even finish Diego Sanchez, so I was a little disappointed in that. But yeah, he's a veteran already. Like he's still young. But yeah, he's good. Jake Matthews is good. On the other hand, Sean Brady, he's coming off what? Oh, he's 13-0 right now. This guy reminds me of like a younger Eddie Alvarez. I know he's coming out of that part of the country. Well, Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Yep.
Yeah, Philadelphia. Yeah, he really reminds me of a younger version of Eddie Alvarez. Like he can take it, you know. He can dish it out. He can take it. He's he's a grinder. He looks like the total package, you know. I'm very high on Sean Brady. He impressed me with that Court McGee fight. After that, he fought that European dude. I don't know whether he's Russian or something. Ismail Nardiev.
Ismail Nardiev.
Then,
Yep.
yeah, yeah, he looks like the real deal. What is it? Minus 170 with
Sean Brady is actually a minus two 230 in some places.
Okay, yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah, I think oddsmakers got it right on the odds too. I like Sean Brady a lot. I don't want to say he's one of my stronger players, but yeah, he's definitely one of my picks.
I like the comparison with Eddie Alvarez. I feel like he can take it like Eddie, but and my apologies, Sean Brady, but I feel like his fight IQ isn't all there yet. Um, this was a tough one for me. The line tells me to go Sean Brady, but I'm gonna have to go Jake Matthews here. I'm gonna have to go Jake Matthews here. I feel like there is an upset brewing. I feel like experience is a factor here, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, in the light heavyweight bout, we got Kennedy. I can't even pronounce his name. Zechukwu. Do you know how to pronounce his name?
I I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna butcher his last name, so I'm not.
Yeah, so we got Kennedy. We got this black guy Kennedy versus Carlos Ulberg. We got Ulberg as the favorite, sitting at a minus 240, and Kennedy as an underdog at plus 180. Who you got?
So I wanted to pick Kennedy because of experience. You know,
Sure.
I don't like picking 3-0 guys. Some places 3-0, some places 5-0. But I'm sure dog he's 3-0. Um, He's coming off that Contender Series win over Bruno Oliveira. He even then when he was 2-0, he was a favorite over Bruno. He does have a very good kickboxing background. He trains with Izzy, Kai Kara France, Dan Hooker guys in New Zealand. The guy looks like the real deal too. But the only problem with Kennedy, why I'm not picking Kennedy, is he's just very low output. This is going to be standing up. I haven't seen. I can only pick based on what I see, based on the evidence that I
Sure.
I don't see a lot of wrestling. Like his lone loss was to Paul Craig. He's winning that fight until he got triangle choked by Paul Craig. But I do like. I'm gonna go with Carlos Ulberg here. He takes the first win for City Kickboxing, in my opinion. I think he'll probably win by. This is gonna be a decision. I think this is decision written all over it.
I like it. I'm with you on the Carlos Ulberg. I'm on the fence when I see UFC fighters with a small undefeated record, 4-0, 5-0. I feel like maybe Sean Shelby and the UFC see something in these guys and are well deserving of being in a UFC. As you know, it's not easy to make the UFC. So when I see short undefeated guys 4-0, 5-0, I feel like there's a lot of potential there. But I'm with you. I like Carlos Ulberg in an easy decision, I feel.
Yeah.
Okay, now to the main event for early prelims. We got Tim Elliott versus Jordan Espinoza at a fight at what is this, 125 flyweight.
For this fight, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say Tim Elliott is sitting at an underdog right now with Jordan Espinoza at -130. Odds makers have that as a close fight.
Yeah. I agree. This is one of I can't get a read on this fight. I really can't. Jordan Espinoza looks like he loses every time he steps up in competition. He lost to Alex Perez by submission. He also lost to Matt Schnell by submission. He lost his last fight to David Dvorak. His last win was against Mark De La Rosa, but Mark De La Rosa is not really doing great, actually. Yeah, he loses every time he fights in the UFC. Tim Elliott. Oh, he won his last fight against Ryan Benoit. It was a close fight, actually. He won 29-28.
It was a close fight. Yep.
Yeah. Ryan Benoit's, he's one of those gritty guys too. He's tough, good power. Then he had I want to say he was on a losing streak. Figueiredo, he lost to. Askarov, he lost to.
By a big fan of Royval, he lost to Royval.
Oh, Brandon Royval. He was actually winning that fight until he gassed out.
Yeah, he actually was the favorite in that fight at almost -200.
Tim Elliott?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh,
but that just maybe odds makers didn't know Royval too much.
Yeah. But yeah, that's why I can't really get a read. But if I were to slightly pick, for me, if I were to pick, I think I'm gonna pick Tim Elliott. I'm not gonna place a wager, but if I gotta give you a pick, I'll probably pick Tim Elliott. I slightly leans towards Tim Elliott.
I actually have to disagree with you here. I think it's a close fight. It's definitely not a solid play for me, but I'll put him in some in a parlay here and there. But I will pick Tim Elliott. I'm going Jordan Espinoza, and I'll tell you why. Jordan Espinoza, as much as he fails, I'm an odds guy, and he's failed more than he had success. And I feel like odds makers still think he has an edge here. -140. He opened up as an underdog at +115, now sitting at a -140. Although Tim Elliott is a ranked guy at number 12, Jordan Espinoza isn't. So that tells me a little bit more too. So I'm going to go with the odds makers here. I'm going to go with the favorite, and I'm going to go with Jordan Espinoza. Maybe by stoppage. I don't know how, but maybe by stoppage. All right. And that wraps up our early prelims. Now let's go through these prelims real quick. Rogerio Bontorin versus Kai Kara France in this flyweight bout. When I saw this line at first, I was very surprised. Actually, I look at Kai Kara France in very highly, but I still see him but I saw him at a minus 140, and I was kind of surprised here. So, why do you think odds makers have him only as a slight favorite against Bontorin, which a lot of people don't know too much about?
This is the case. I think Kai Kara France, he trains out of the better team. So with City, he trains with Izzy guys, Carlos Fulberg, Ben Hooker, Brad Riddell, Volkanovski. Trains out of the better camp. He's been off the tough series as well. He's had the better quality opponents. With Bontorin, he had one legit opponent in Ray Borg. I think very highly of Ray Borg, actually. I want to say Ray Borg even missed weight in that fight. But Bontorin looked good in that fight as well. I know he lost decisively, but he showed he's not a pushover. Yeah, he's definitely not a pushover. He's strong. Kid is strong, bro. Just like the last fight, I'm having a hard time making a pick here, but I am gonna go Bontorin. You know what I mean? The last thing I remember with him was his fight with Ray Borg. He looked good despite losing. Kai Kara France is coming off that submission loss to Brandon Royval. Tyson Nam, that's a good win. Brandon Moreno lost that fight. You know, Moreno's some people say he could be champion right now, you know?
Sure. So yeah, Bontorin, huh?
Yeah, if I were to give you a pick, just because of value, I don't know, maybe Bontorin.
Actually,
but it's not a solid pick in my opinion.
No, you know what? I actually expected this line to have Kai Kara France at a minus 200 or a little bit more, just because I put him at high regard. After looking at this line and after going back and looking at watching that Bontorin and Ray Borg fight, because I'm with you, Ray Borg is basically a measuring stick for me. It tells me how good a fighter is. I feel like there's something to this fight, and I feel like a lot of people may be siding with Kai Kara France here, and I'm right. At the consensus, we have the bettors currently having Kai Kara France as a 66% money line consensus, but I am agreeing with you. I'm gonna go against that. I'm gonna pick the underdog here. Something's fishy. The line tells me that. And I'm going to go with Bontorin here as the underdog at plus 115. All right.
Yeah, I think he grew up on a farm too.
Bontorin
matters, bro. Yeah.
It 100%
so strong, huh?
It 100% matters. Ask Matt Hughes. These farm people, man. They're
strong. Yeah,
they're strong. They have work ethic. They have to wake up in the morning before sunrise to collect the fucking chicken eggs and all that kind of shit and get their work done before sundown. So they have work ethic. All right. So here's a fight I like a lot. So let's just go ahead and give our picks here.
We're missing.
So let's go ahead and Joseph. Actually, before that, let's do Joseph Benavidez versus Askarov.
We talked about that earlier, right?
Just go ahead and give your picks.
Okay, so I am going Askarov.
Yeah. So we'll do our strong bets after this, but we'll just go break down our picks. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm because I know, yes, he lost to the champion twice. That's his last two fights. Some people want to say he was actually winning that. Well, he was not. Askarov, he has that style. That's why, he's younger. I don't like picking guys. He has momentum on his side. He's the younger guy. Brutal losses, in my opinion. He's I don't want to say old, but yeah, he's older, like 36, especially at 125. That's old. I also like the style of Askarov. He has that wrestling style. Yeah, I like Askarov to win a decisive decision in this fight, 30-27.
I'm with you. I have Askarov as well. We broke it down and we highlighted the main points here. And I have to just it's me going against Joseph Benavidez rather than going with Askarov, if that makes sense. I'm picking Askarov because I'm going against Joe here. But I agree with you. All right. We got the number 14 Song Yadong. Big hype with this guy in this bantamweight bout against Kyler Phillips. We got Kyler Phillips sitting as the underdog, currently at, let me see here, at a plus 130 with Song Yadong as a favorite at minus 155. Who do you like?
I was going back and forth the last 2 days. Song Yadong trains out of a very good camp with Alpha Male. Coming off that decision win over Marlon Vera. A lot of people actually disagree. It was actually a close fight. I don't think it was a robbery. I don't think it was a robbery, but it was a close fight with Marlon Vera. He had a draw with Cody Stamen. And with Kyler Phillips, he beat Cameron Else. Gabriel Silva. Kyler Phillips, he's the underdog in this fight for a reason. Doesn't have a good win on his record, but this is my underdog pick of the card. Actually, I like Kyler Phillips here. Dude's been training jiu-jitsu since 3 years old. He's a California State wrestling champ. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu now. He's a world champ in jiu-jitsu back in 2012, 2013, if I remember correctly. Like, he's bred to do this, really. Song Yadong too. Song Yadong is one of the top prospects coming out of China. Dude's only 23 years old. He's fought really, really good guys too. I know Uriah Faber is very high on Song Yadong. This is going to be a close fight, no matter which way you pick. But I do like Kyler Phillips a lot here. Stand-up's been looking good. He's called the Matrix for a reason. Jiu-jitsu's good. Wrestling's good. Dude's a total package. Yeah, he's still young too. He's only 25 years old. But I do like Kyler Phillips in a close decision victory.
I'm actually happy to hear that because me and you picking the underdog again, it's a strong underdog for me. I'm liking Kyler Phillips. I think Song Yadong, it's not his time yet. I think that the bright lights in America will get to him, and Kyler Phillips will come out shining out of this fight. I like the line. I would tell you guys to get it early. I feel like it's going to close in with Kyler being a slight underdog, or I wouldn't even be surprised even money come fight time. But we'll see. but I'm with you. I like Kyler Phillips here. All right. Now moving on to Dominick Cruz versus Kenney. We broke it down earlier. Who do you got?
Yeah, I like Kenney a lot here. I like Kenney because of the youth on his side. Dominick Cruz he's been inactive. I think the game's just caught up to him. I like Kenney a lot.
Sure. For me, this is a no touch, but I'm gonna lay a pick here since we're picking. Going through the fights and whatnot. If I had to make a pick, it's the same reason why I'm picking against Joe. I'm picking against Dominick Cruz here. I'm going with Kenney. Dominick Cruz, man, I think just too old. We got the younger guy here with a little bit more hungry, if I could say that. All right. Now to the main card. Let's go ahead and make our picks. Thiago Santos versus Aleksandar Rakic.
Rakic. Rakic just too young, too strong. Got good wrestling. I like Rakic a lot.
Absolutely. I see it. I see why he's the favorite. I think stylistically, this is a perfect fight for Aleksandar, and we'll see Thiago Santos back, but not with this fight. All right, going back to this Islam Makhachev. The hype, is it real against Drew Dober? If you can make a pick,
I think Makhachev is going to grind them out for through 3 rounds. I think Dober's going to have his moments, but I think I'm going to side with Makhachev. I don't recommend betting on this fight because I think Dober's upset potential is very high, but I do like Makhachev as the pick.
I'm going to disagree with you here. See a lot of value with Dober. I think it's a scary fight for Makhachev. I think he's overlooking Dober. I think Dober is ready. I think Makhachev is going to feel his hands, and he's going to go down. And I predict if the other 3 main events don't come out to be result in an outstanding fashion, Drew Dober having the fight of the night or KO of the night. All right. Now to the title fights. Petr Yan versus Aljamain Sterling.
I like Petr Yan in this fight. I think Aljamain got 3 rounds to finish this fight by submission. But I just think Petr Yan's takedown defense is just too good. I think it's going to be stand up. I think Petr Yan's going to win by TKO or KO 3 or 4 rounds in.
I personally feel like this is a no touch for me, but if I had to make a pick, I'm going to go Aljamain Sterling. I'm going to go against you. I feel like Petr Yan should be the play, but I feel like Aljamain has worked his way up, has fought the tougher competition. They've been preparing for this guy. They've had, if you've been following them on Twitter, they've been going back and forth. Matt Sarin guys, they're ready. And I think we're going to see a new champ in Aljamain Sterling on Saturday. All right. Should I even bring up the next fight? But we have to, just for formality. Amanda yeah, go ahead. Yeah, something to say about Aljo fight?
No. Go ahead.
Yeah, Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson.
Amanda Nunes, I like. I don't know if the only thing I'm gonna bet on is over 1.5. There's no point of betting Amanda Nunes minus 1,200. I don't think Megan Anderson is gonna win. If you do want to bet Megan Anderson by KO. Whenever the odds come out. But I do like the over 1.5 for sure. Minus 120?
Yeah, for me, it's Amanda Nunes. But don't be too sure, guys. I've seen big fights like this fall. I think it's not worth it to even put in a parlay. If I had to pick, it's going to be Amanda Nunes. but it's not even worth for me to even lay anything on either fighter. I'm with Randee here. It's going to be a prop bet kind of fight. Either you're going to go over 1.5 rounds, over 2.5, something like that. Maybe a Nunes by knockout, but I can see that being expensive. So I wouldn't even do Nunes by knockout. I can see it minus 200-300, and as you can see, especially last week, those are even scary. I can see Nunes winning by decision. Could be a hard weight cut. Could be being a new mom, something like that. Megan Anderson giving a good fight. But for me, either play the round props or don't play it. But if I had to pick, Nunes for sure. Now to the main event. We got Jan Blachowicz versus Israel Adesanya. If you had to pick, who do you like for this main event?
Personally, I think I'm going to stay away from this fight. But if I don't know if I'm losing or if I get desperate to even bet, I am going to pick Jan Blachowicz in this fight. I do like Jan Blachowicz. I know a lot of people like Izzy. Jan's not getting enough credit for the things that he's done. Really, in my opinion, he's actually, he's the champion, but he really is the champion. Dominick Reyes did beat John Jones, in my opinion. Dominick Reyes should be the champion, should have been the champion. Jan Blachowicz beat Dominick Reyes. He's the champion. I like Jan Blachowicz. He's the bigger guy. I think he can match the stand-up. He has the power advantage in this fight. Not the speed advantage, but he has the power advantage in this fight. I think he will. He's more of a counter guy too, so it's going to be kind of slow paced. This fight's going to be kind of slow paced. Whoever catches who. He does have a big advantage on the ground. We got to see whether he can take Izzy down to begin with. But if Jan takes Izzy down, I think it's there's a big gap in the jiu-jitsu realm. I do like Jan Blachowicz as the underdog. I'm picking Jan Blachowicz. On top of that, just like Amanda Nunes, he actually this is going to be his first fight with a child. He just had a son. Congratulations, Jan Blachowicz. I like Jan. On top of that, happy birthday! It was his birthday weekend, or birthday week. I think that there's a lot of good things coming in for Jan Blachowicz. He's also an underdog. Like, he's been cashing in as an underdog for the last 3 fights.
You're correct on that. He's been winning as an underdog in his last fights against Reyes, Anderson, and Jacare.
No, I think he was the favorite over Jacare, right?
I stand corrected. I think he was
the favorite.
He's a favorite against Jacare. He was an underdog against Luke Rockhold.
Anyway, just I like Jan Blachowicz. Izzy, prove it to me. Prove it to me. I don't think it's that easy just going up and taking a belt from the champion. So I like Jan Blachowicz if you want to bet.
I was initially going to stay away from this fight for the same reasons, but you know what? I'm going to listen to the lines makers. I am going to take Israel Adesanya as the favorite against Jan, who is defending his title for the very first time. I was always interested to see why new up-and-comers become favorites against the champ. Last time I recall seeing this, I'm sure there are other times, but if you recall when John Jones fought Shogun for the title, even though Shogun was the champ, John Jones was the favorite. And I'm going to follow the trend here when the champ is the underdog in their title fights against a new contender like this. I don't think it's going to be an easy one. It's not going to be an easy one. It's going to be a war. He is moving up in weight, but I like Adesanya here as a favorite, as a minus 240 favorite. All right, now for what our viewers been waiting for. We're going to go ahead and reveal our solid plays and bets for this fight. We just broke down to you guys our picks, but this is different. This is what we're actually going to lay our own money on. So here's our bets for UFC 259. I'll go first. I'm going to go with the underdog here. Very confident in this one. Kyler Phillips, sitting as the underdog. I like him a lot. Still debating on how many units I'm going to go, but I like Kyler Phillips against Song Yandong as a plus 130 underdog. I like Casey Kenney as well as a favorite against Dominick Cruz. I'm going to go Aleksandar Rakic. Going to go to Drew Dober as one of my plays as a big underdog. I see a lot of value here. I'm going to lay some money. I'm going to play it. And then for the main event, I'm convinced. I'm sold. I think that a UFC wants him to win. I think a big fight is brewing in John Jones. I'm going to go with Israel Adesanya as the main event favorite, minus 240. So I got Kyler Phillips, Casey Kenney, Aleksandar Rakic, Drew Dober, and Israel Adesanya as my bets for UFC 259. And on to Randee the Parlay Killer. Who do you have?
All right, so this is gonna be my parlay. This is gonna be my most solid pick of the week. I'm gonna put a 3-team parlay. I'm gonna start off with Amanda Lemos. She's what, minus 200 or whatnot. Amanda Lemos. I'm gonna pick Casey Kenney, and I'm gonna end it off with Aleksandar Rakic. I'm still debating whether we want to put Askarov in there, but I'm very, very confident in all 3 or 4 winning. So, yeah. I'm also going to place a small wager on Kyler Phillips. I like his upset potential there. I like Kyler Phillips a lot. Who else? I'm not going to place anything on the Makhachev fight. I'm just going to sit back and watch. But if I do play it, I'm probably gonna end up putting Makhachev in a parlay if I want to play it later on in the card. I am picking Petr, but I don't know if I'm gonna place a wager on that fight. The man Nunes, I like the over 1.5. I think I'm gonna play that, and I don't know if I'm gonna play the main event, but I do like Jan Blachowicz.
Awesome picks. Can't disagree with any of them. They're all solid plays to me. For me, I'm going to cap off the night with a 4-team parlay, going with Kyler Phillips, Casey Kenney, Aleksandar Rakic, and Israel Adesanya as my 4-team parlay. It should give you very good plus odds. And that's my parlay for the card. And then next up is our Bettors Edge lock of the night. This is a pick myself and Randee agree on and should be a max play for anybody that is watching and following us. So our Bettors Edge lock of the night. Let them know, Randee.
It's going to be Aleksandar Rakic.
100%. I think it's time for Aleksandar Rakic. And he's going to showcase why he is trouble for
future
the division.
Contender.
Future contender, trouble in the division come Saturday night. All right. So that wraps up our UFC 259 breakdown, picks, plays. And I hope that you guys do well this Saturday. Good luck to everyone. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on our social media accounts. If you have any suggestions on what we should do on the show, please let us know. Comment below. This is Rusty Betts from Bettors Edge. And we got Randee the Parlay Killer signing off. Thanks for joining us.